Hi. Got to get ourselves all set up in the camera. Welcome. We're happy to see you.
Yes,
It's been a long time.
it has been a long time, too long.
So
For
we
sure.
know that these lives lag a bit, and so we're gonna chitter chatter a little bit here to. Oh, look, we can see the comments already. But yeah, it takes a few minutes for all of you out there in YouTube land to see what we're seeing or see
Mhm.
what we're doing. So we just want to say, hey, welcome everybody, give everybody some time to get on. Um, so cool that you're all here.
It is. And yeah, that although we haven't been producing videos, that Denise still sees the support from all of you, and that
Absolutely.
has been immeasurable,
It
actually.
has.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry. Anyhow, super glad that everybody's here. The point of this live is to deal with the communication gap that we've had
Yeah.
in that yeah, it's
We're
been
still
a while.
here.
It's been a while. We want to get everybody up to date. We kind of left you hanging. There's lots to share with you, lots of things we want to talk about. So we want to remind you that you sorry, I'm trying to read comments too. Oh, you guys are so great. So want to remind you, if you want to comment, that you do have to have a YouTube account and all those kinds of things, but you can do that. Hey, Charlie. So that's the way to get your comments in. And Rod and Angie, yay. What else do we have to tell you?
Nothing's really happened in the last 6 months. Nothing at all.
No, we do have lots to tell you. We just
Yeah.
want to let everybody get on. And Corrine, if you can hear me out there, Dale and Corrine, our friends, are helping us with the moderation. Can you pop in a comment so that I can make sure you're there and it's working? Hey, Albuquerque. Very cool. And thank you, Nat. I don't know about beautiful, but you know what? I'm owning it.
Yeah, she is. She's rocking it.
I did get a wig and all that, and we have been filming. I just haven't been editing.
The wig has a lot of miles on it, but it's not gone on your head for a couple months, really.
And we'll explain more about why I'm not wearing the wig. I guess the structure of this, we want to talk about cancer and what's been going on and get you all up to date. We want to go back a bit. And last time we did a live, we had talked about us going to Whistler and all the things we were going to do there. And so we want to talk a bit about that too. And then we want to talk about what's coming up and what's next. And we've been throwing a few crazy curveballs.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that a bit. And then we will just answer any questions that you have. And I know cancer is like a touchy thing, and sometimes people don't know, should I say that or shouldn't I? We're open.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask your questions. If there's anything we could share that would help you, if this is a diagnosis you're involved with, or if your person is, that would make us happy if we could help with that. So, hey, Betty in San Diego, very cool to see you. And Karen in Sarasota. I love the comments.
There's a lot of people.
And every time we put out a video, there's so many of you that send us your prayers and your good thoughts and your experiences for us to learn from and inspire us and keep us on track and keep us positive. And I honestly do read every single one of those.
It's bizarre. Like you think, if you don't think your comments matter, they do. Even as early as this morning, Denise has had some tough times, and I just see her reading the comments, and I know she's reading the comments, because she just smiles, right? It lights her up.
Truly, it does. I mean, wow, there's a huge number of people out there that care about us and our family and what we're going through. And wow. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So, what else do we have here? Hello, happy. Oh, thank you very much, guys. Very much. Okay. We want to get on with it. So I think we last left you in video land with the fact that we did have our diagnosis. So I'm just going to take you back a bit to the time that we got that diagnosis. It was, the three of us are inherently positive about most things. And Courtney was like, yeah, let's get this done with by the May long weekend. We're back at the house. We're having a cancer-free party. It's Courtney's birthday. The lights are shining from the wedding and life is grand.
Yeah, we were a little bit naive then.
We were. 1 minute. I got to get a Kleenex. Okay. So we were disappointed to find out that the diagnosis was that the cancer was a more aggressive cancer than we thought. And
it wasn't as a stage 1. I don't know. It had metastasized to.
No, let's go back.
No? Okay.
It moved into the axilla,
Right.
into a lymph node, but it has not metastasized to any
other organ
parts of my
Right.
body. So, yay.
Mhm.
But it was further along than we expected. It's a ductal carcinoma. And well, you guys are so nice. Bald is beautiful. You know, it's easier. I can say that.
It is easier. It takes less time in the morning.
Totally. So, and then there's hormone markers that they test you for to determine which kind of treatments to use. You're beautiful too, baby. I know that. So they use those hormone receptors to determine what drugs to use or which treatment plans or that kind of thing. So for me individually, I am estrogen negative, progesterone negative, and HER2 positive. And that just means that it's able to spread a little quicker. So we needed to get on things. And the tumor was growing rapidly, and I'll show you those kinds of things in videos. But it was, sorry, I'm looking at comments too. So it was hard for us to hear that news.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard because that just wasn't what we planned for, obviously. And of course, going through the cancer and COVID times
amplifies the problem. Like, it really does. Because COVID by itself, these days, the strains are generally pretty reasonably mild. But if Denise were to get that, it's not just the going through COVID, but it delays. The bigger thing is it delays procedures, it delays chemo, it delays tests at that time.
Yeah. So
it's very important that we were diligent about keeping our distance and maintaining an environment that she didn't pick it up, right?
So we did spend a fair amount of time with Courtney and Tanner then in our little bubble because we were able to, and I'll tell you more about Whistler as we go, and if there's more. So we finished, because there's of course many more tests that had to be done. And then there was the plan to move forward with chemo. I know that's not everybody's most popular decision. It was the one we felt we needed to make. It was the best for us and the thing that we trusted the most with the most scientific research. And so I got started on that. I got a port put into my chest here. Oh, hang on. You can't really see it in this shirt. I'll put it in a video and I will get there and share that with you. Just so I didn't need to be poked all the time. Poking is
A phobia for you? Always has been?
Always has been. So even though I've been a nurse for so many years, I'm great at poking other people, just not so good at getting it back. So I knew I needed the port. We got the port, and it has been fantastic. So if there's any of you out there that have questions about ports, happy to chat about that. So we did get that, and then we got started. So the chemo regime is still, I took a cocktail of 2 drugs every 2 weeks, 4 times. Then we went to a cocktail of 3 drugs every 3 weeks, 3 times.
Was that with the 4th one added?
No,
Or
that was the 3rd one.
Okay.
Yeah. In between all of this, hey from Phoenix, Arizona, yay, Gilbert, nice to see you. So we did, or have been doing that, and during all that time, we take, I say we, I really strongly say we, because this has been our whole family doing this. So I take injections into my abdomen to help with my white blood cells, the neutrophils, and keep my body producing them, because those are the cells that would protect me from infection and things, because the chemotherapy drugs, they just wipe that out.
Yeah.
So they wipe out a few things. And when I'm pointing here, I don't just mean my hair. I don't know if anyone's heard of chemo brain before.
It's a thing.
Sometimes I'm just messing a little upstairs. But we're getting through all of these things. Yes, there are side effects to all these drugs as well, and my body feels them. But I'm also super happy to say that science and research and experience has brought the oncology team to a place where they're just so good at taking care of me and taking care of those side effects for me. And there are, I've been put on, because the drugs kill fast growing cells, hair, stomach cells, those kinds of things. And so that's where the nausea comes from. You've probably, everybody who thinks of chemo thinks of vomiting, right? Not one single time have I vomited. So I'm so thankful for that. And the reason is because they knew which drugs to give me to help me avoid that. So I was taking one drug at the beginning of chemo that kept me from ever being sick. I mean, I get queasy here and there, but.
And sore, but not sick, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much everything they've said, hair loss, the nausea, everything has been exactly what they said. If you didn't take this, you would experience this. Hair is going to fall out between this and this day. No hair fell out the day before, and hair fell out the day they said it was going to fall out. Like they just have everything down. Yeah,
they really did have it down to a science. And even still now. So where am I right now? We have one more round in the second group for chemo to be done. Then we move on to surgery. Yeah, they're coming off. I know lots of folks, we can laugh and we can joke about all that, but we're not looking forward to that. And I am going to do some reconstruction, and that's probably going to be difficult, a different type of difficult, right?
Yep.
Painful. And I think it'll be a long process. I think we're looking at a sort of 2 to 3 different surgeries for that to happen. But of course, they try to do as much as they can in each time. And then there's probably going to be some radiation in there as well. The goal, the plan, is to get rid of cancer. That is what we're doing here. And this is all going to take at least a year. Hey, Carla. Nice to see you up there. So we're going to get rid of cancer. That's the plan. After, or continuing on from the chemo, After the next round, I will go to one drug every 3 weeks for the remainder of the year. And that drug is the one that stops the cells just completely, no more fast dividing. The rest of the chemo is what is killing any cells floating around in me, reduced the tumor quite a bit. It has made a big difference. And then we do the surgery to remove anything that's there. The breakfast crew at Ross Creek. Oh, you guys. So Ross Creek, just so you know, Ross Creek. Oh, by the way, we're here. We're back in the shoe shop at the lake. So Ross Creek Store is a place down the road where Corey frequents breakfast, and he has a bunch of really nice people there that he hangs out with. So thanks, guys. Good to see you here. So yeah, that's the whole regime. And by the end of the year, I should be winding up on this whole thing.
That's the goal.
And after the surgery, again, they will do more assessment of the cancer in the tumor and determine whether they feel we've gotten it all and killed it all. Sorry, I want to read. Yeah, chemo can be a long time. The first 2 drugs that I was getting were running in about a couple of hours. And at the beginning, because they do give me some oral medication as well. So they give me one to avoid the nausea. And they would give me one that was a steroid.
After the first chemo, we went down. There's kind of a Lonsdale Key down at the end of the street we're on, and we forgot something in the car, and it was a long ways away. She had a backpack on, and she goes, "I'll go get it." I'm like, "Well, you just had chemo." She was so energetic that day. It was like more energetic than she'd never been, like ever. So she runs back, and then she's wanting to eat everything there. Like it was like, holy crap, you should have chemo every day. But then,
then you take a dive.
Set in.
So the reality is that they give me the drugs to help counteract the chemo. And now I know why athletes take steroids, because wow, I felt pretty powerful. And that was good. So for the first couple of days, but it takes a couple days sort of for the chemo to really hit you. So in that first cycle of those 2 drugs, I was wiped. And each time we did it
was more wiped.
Yeah. And that's why I just haven't been able to function. And I wasn't throwing up, but my head wasn't there, and I would just sort of lay in one spot and function. Plus, there's the whole mental thing going on too, right? You're afraid, you're wondering, you're not sure, how far is this going to go? We're going to get this, right? Like those are the kinds of things that are running through your brain and your family's brain. The whole
especially
time.
The first bit, because you don't know. You don't know whether it's working. You don't know anything. You're just hoping that it's going to work. Yeah.
And it was scary. And in that first round of 4 treatments, the tumor didn't change much. So
at least not noticeable to you.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
but even on ultrasound, they weren't really able to see what my tumor was encapsulated in a cyst. So it was hard. You could see and feel the whole cyst, but it was hard to determine how much of that was tumor and how much was cyst and fluids and things like that. So it was just a confusing time, discouraging, disheartening. But we had all you guys telling me I could do this and that it was going to be okay. And so we forged on, and then we got into the second round of 4, which started out with 2 drugs. I did have some very long, like 8-hour days in the hospital, in the chemo unit, getting those drugs, because they're very specific about how quickly they put them into you, and the observation periods, and then the other drugs that they give you to counteract side effects and things like that. So really, wow, Caroline, you are so nice and thankful. Wow, we really appreciate your support. It's very nice that you're sharing with us. Thank you. Then there was a new drug that came up that we could have, but costs a bloody fortune. And in the Canadian system, all of my diagnostics,
Treatment,
everything is covered by our medical plan. And then drugs are for the most part covered. And then we have extended health that helps to cover things that the province or country doesn't cover. And then there's drugs that are not covered. And our oncologist wanted us to have one of those drugs. So
I don't know how, like, I can't imagine being where there's a system that doesn't cover most of this. Like,
Yeah.
it's got to be a struggle because.
And we think about all of you
Yeah.
in other countries that maybe don't have similar access to things, and it hurts our hearts. It really does. This is a struggle, and we had to really think through, are we in a position to cover a drug so expensive? But the bigger question was, were we willing to not take the chance? So yes, special authority is a thing that comes into play, but it doesn't always get covered. So this particular drug was not going to be covered with special authority. But there are other programs, compassionate programs and things where the drug companies will help. And so the most expensive one that would be added to my chemotherapy, the drug company is reimbursing us for 60% of that. So it still ends up being a lot. Hi, Tony. That's so nice of you. Thank you for sharing with us. We truly appreciate it. And you know, all of these things you're sharing will go to good use. So we did go ahead with this super expensive drug. And the question is it having an effect? We won't know, because the effect that this drug would have is to make sure I don't get cancer again.
Right.
So ask me in 10 years, ask me in 20 years if the drug worked, because it's,
I guess hopefully we'll never know, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So so those drugs, Taxol, pertuzumab, and there's one more. It'll come to my chemo brain. Pertuzumab was the new, more expensive one. Oh, and Herceptin. And Herceptin's the one that I will take for the rest of the year, just to keep it at bay, make sure we get all the cells and keep it under control. So yeah, those are the drugs. That's the treatment. That's the plan. Let's talk about Whistler.
Sure.
Are you into Whistler talk?
Sure.
Let me check the list. Yeah. So way back when, I guess we didn't tell you about the curveball.
Oh yeah, there was a curveball around the end of the first round of chemo.
Yeah. Some things in the world just will never, ever, ever make sense. And forgive me, but partway through this whole saga, Courtney got a lump. If you can believe that. What's the chances? But Courtney got a lump, and it turned out to also be breast cancer. If you're devastated when you get a diagnosis, the devastation is just that much greater when your 27-year-old daughter gets the same diagnosis. Now, Louise, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. her breast cancer is different than mine, possibly related. We're still learning more about it in order to determine those kinds of things. But obviously, we all know that any type of cancer in a young person is, well, any type of cancer in anyone is horrible. But we all feel for young people going through something like that. And it just seems absurd that her and I could be going through this at the same time. It was very devastating to us. I got quite sick, missed
probably extra sick because of that. But.
Yeah, delayed a chemo treatment for me. I think it was just stress and being run down, and I picked up something somewhere. It's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
No,
we don't. All we've done is we've come around to a place of acceptance and just putting one foot in front of the other.
I guess the thing that we've been told and that we need to focus on is that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for both of them. There's expectation to be cancer-free. So it's a bumpy road along the way, but we're headed down the path and we'll get there.
Exactly.
For both, right?
So without sharing too much of her private information, she's had a procedure, and she too will start chemo. And we're getting a family plan. I don't know. We do have the same doctors, and they've been really great. And with her age and the type of cancer she has, it is moving very quickly for her. They're getting everything in place. She's a priority. And so we will get her into this. I see, Rose, you were asking about whether we have the BRCA gene, and that we are being tested. And when we know more, we'll share more. It is a possibility, but because, yes, we do have cancer in our family. My mom had cancer, but also Corey's mom had cancer, and other people in Corey's family. So these are things we're still looking into and learning about. But it is a possibility. So if I thought I was stressed, if I thought I was overwhelmed, if I thought I didn't have time to put out a video, it just got crazier and more absurd and tough.
Yeah.
Really, really tough.
Yeah.
So we are just trying to stay positive and, move me into a different phase and move Courtney in, and we just keep taking care of each other.
And we'll get through it.
Yeah. So that's that. But as a mom, that's just the toughest thing in the world. And then being a sick mom. Well, I guess the other thing I wanted to mention about the chemo is that once I had it, those side effects would come about. They don't last forever. And I was lucky enough to have 2 weeks or 3 weeks between treatments. So generally, it became quite routine for me to get back on my feet.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So right now, I'm home.
Today is day 7.
7?
Yeah. You had it Monday.
Oh,
Today's
okay.
Sunday.
Okay. So I'm
coming out of the worst of it.
Yeah.
Usually it's probably the day of and the second day are pretty good.
Yeah. And
then by some point in the third day, it hits you and doesn't leave for 4 or 5 days. So
the side effects that I'm having on the second round of drugs are more numbness, tingling, diarrhea, those kinds of things. But I'm still eating well. The numbness and tingling and pain was quite bad last time, so they put me on some different medication for that this time, and it's really working again. Like they just they call me, they ask some questions, and they know what to do next. And they treat each person individually with wherever they're at and whatever they're experiencing. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm not the best walker, but
you get around.
I do.
Yeah.
And
You were riding your bike last week before chemo.
right, like
right?
in that third week prior, the week prior to getting the next chemo, I feel
pretty good,
yeah. Pretty normal.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to get out, and now the weather has changed and we're back to the lake. And the other thing, along with the hair loss and the first drugs, I don't know if you can tell I'm a little flushed. For those of you out there nearing the menopause time of your life, this totally pushes you into menopause. And so I have got hot flashes like you wouldn't believe. I can't take anything for those. There's no way to counteract that or make it better, because often the medications or treatments or herbal remedies or all of the things that one might take are hormone related and could have an effect on the cancer. So endure, tough it out.
Fortunately, it's been cooler up till now, so you could always roll the window down.
Yeah, I've been rolling the window down a lot.
I know it's been cold in the car, and like I'm the one who usually rolls the window down, and she'll roll the window down. What are you doing?
It's not my personality. I am always, my whole life I've been cold.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm hot. So yeah, that's the next thing that's kind of bothersome. But I mean, on the grand scheme of things, we'll get through that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to talking about Whistler. We did go.
We did.
We started our jobs. Yeah. They were interesting and fun. I was an in-room dining server, so I'm the one that brings you the room service order up to your room, get it all set up and bring it up to your room and get you everything you need. And of course, we were working in, a 5-star hotel with the best of everything. So it was kind of fun.
It was fun, actually. Yeah.
But Corey was.
Well, I was the shuttle driver for one of the shuttle drivers for the hotel, because the hotel's just out of the village. We run people around, kind of a circuit. People get on, get off. Meet lots of people.
Yeah. So we were having a good time. We were learning new things. We were meeting new people. The whole experience was unique. We were living in staff housing. And then I had to go and get cancer. So and then even then I did continue to work until COVID got really bad. And then we were at risk of.
COVID really still amplifies the problem or the challenges with having cancer, because if she gets COVID, it delays stuff, right?
And now it's complicated with Courtney, because if it's just this little chain reaction, none of us are. We're staying very close to each other and taking lots of space from others, making sure we're masking, staying separated outdoors, things like that, so that we can protect one another. We can't afford to delay anything. So anyways, that kept me from going back to work in the new year into January. Corey did continue to work. Courtney continued to work. Tanner worked from home. So we were pretty safe that way. And of course, they were super diligent. But they did get COVID, both of them. And so we had to do some little jogging around of who was staying where when, so that we could protect me from getting it.
Right.
And I did okay. I knock on wood. We don't have wood right beside us. Anyway, so we from there, Corey continued to work.
Well, part of it was, do we quit and go home, but there's really good oncology in the Vancouver area. Denise was already in that. So that it's kind of good that we're here and stay. And by me working, we could stay and
kept us close to Courtney,
and close to where we needed to be and have accommodation. And I didn't mind the job. It was like driving a Class C motorhome that hauls 24 people. So,
I think you had fun.
Yeah, no, parts of it were fun.
The
Yeah.
guests were very fun. And
Yeah.
he got to play the music
Hmm.
and interact, and at a time when things are mostly down.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was a distraction.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. So it gave us what we needed. Our employer was fantastic in that
Yeah, they were very accommodating.
they
Yeah.
really helped us out a lot. They were very good to us. And, we were able to make all of our appointments. Sometimes we would stay with Courtney, sometimes we'd stay in the staff housing, whatever sort of we needed at the time. Your shifts, everyone was really good about.
And they were good about the accommodation too, and accommodating your needs.
Absolutely.
Because we wouldn't have been able to stay if they hadn't done that.
No, we wouldn't have been. And we're very, very, very thankful to those folks for helping us out that way, because it just meant so much to us, and it allowed us to continue the care that I needed, and be close to Courtney. I think those were the really main points. Not that I couldn't have had the care that I needed here. It just would have meant switching departments and doctors and all of those kinds of things.
And everything was kind of lined up for surgery, for chemo, for everything already, and just didn't seem like a good idea to change it once it's in motion.
Yeah. So we very happy for that, but it came to a close about
beginning of May.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Corey's job officially ended, but you stayed on as casual.
I actually worked a shift last week when we were there.
Yeah. And so then we've been kind of going between the lake here and Courtney's house and back and forth.
Depending on how long our stints are down there, we'll probably end up taking the trailer down or something and staying in it.
It's getting more complicated. There's Courtney's schedule, and then there's my schedule, and then there's us being here, and so we're traveling back and forth now. And obviously that's we're about 6 hours away.
Yeah, from Squamish, about 5 hours from Vancouver.
Right. So it's getting a little more complicated, and we're going to try and take Penelope, and we're trying to consolidate appointments all at the same time. But believe it or not, the world doesn't just revolve around us and our schedule, and people, you get to take appointments when you can get them. So, yeah, we are going to use Penelope as much as we can, because of course the beaver is still back in Elkhart. And
we thought about, we're still thinking about going and getting it, but we need to do some maintenance on it before we bring it back. And we don't know what we're doing 2 days from now, let alone going, and I'd have to spend at least a week there and then driving it back. It'd be a big stretch of time
and expense too.
And expense.
Anybody check the price at the pumps lately?
I don't even know what it would be anymore. But even just time-wise, there's not been a window of that even either.
So we are going to use Penelope while we figure out the whole beaver thing. Going to use Penelope. We're going to go down to the Vancouver Squamish area. We'll stay where we can get in, because again, anybody notice how
hard it is to get into campgrounds?
So that's our plan for that. And anytime that we are down there and waiting and in between, then Corey can take shifts at the hotel. So that I think that's good for everybody. That's going to be the plan. We just can't say exactly where we're going to be on which days, because we don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, up next is what else do we want to tell you? Talk about Whistler, Courtney. Yeah, we're checking stuff off the list, everybody. So people are talking about bilateral mastectomies and radiation. I have met with the plastic surgeon once, and tomorrow we'll be confirming our next appointment with her. The choice was mine to have a single or double mastectomy. I'm going to go with the double, partly due to folks like you out there who are giving me feedback and telling me how you felt about it and that it went well. I don't want to take any chances. And there was a spot there that no one could say was cancer. It was too small. They weren't able to biopsy it, those kinds of things. So was it or wasn't it? Who knows? I don't want to find out. So let's get rid of it, is my thinking. And then, yeah, I will figure out what types of surgeries or what they're doing. I know that there may be some tissue expanders that have to be put in, and they would be doing that at the time of the mastectomy, and then I would come back after that for the rest of the reconstruction. Yeah, thanks, Kristen. I keep trying to keep that in my mind, that we wouldn't be given more than we could handle, and this is the hand we've been dealt. And you know what? We're going to come out on the other side, and we will, because that's just the only option.
Yeah,
we're going to come out on the other side, and we'll be okay. So that's the Whistler saga. I wished so much that I could have filmed more and shared more and all of those kinds of things, but
yeah, that was the plan initially.
Yeah, the cancer is a full-time job.
And I don't know how people that don't have somebody to help them through that manage, to be honest.
So if you've got somebody out there that doesn't have a support system or person or advocate, or is doing this on their own, please step in or find them someone. It's just so, I can't imagine how I would have got through this without my family, right? Corey gives me injections, Courtney gives me injections. I mean, Tanner's there making sure that I have everything I could ever want. It's, how do people do this on their own?
Yeah, I mean, hats off to them, but it's got to be tough.
It's just that it's a lonely place.
It would be, yeah.
It's a confusing place. You're already feeling really crappy, and then you got to keep track of Amy. Amy, you're so sweet. You're the best. Thank you. But even just keeping track of appointments and medications, and I've got all these alarms set on my phone, and it's this one now, and then that one, and don't forget to take that out of the fridge, and now you got to do this. Like, it's just an ongoing.
And if you don't take them, you know about it fairly soon, because it's a science, and you're taking it for a reason, and that reason will show up if you don't take it.
And they know what to tell you to do. Yeah. Travel with live and bravely. See, you're saying exactly what I'm saying. I don't want to find cancer in the other breast later. They can just take it now. So, yeah, what's next for us? Okay, in the time that I have been able to be productive, it's really hard for me when I don't feel productive. I have been working on our RV buying tool, and the database is growing quite huge, and I'm proud to say that soon I will be loading all that data into the algorithm, and we'll be starting to test. So that's what I've been working on the most. The website that goes with that, because in order to access the tool and use it and help people to find the right RV for them, we'll go through our website. So our website's also being redeveloped. Thanks to the very patient developers that we're working with and their team, because what was supposed to have come to fruition 6 months ago has been on hold. And they're running a business too, and it's difficult, I know, for them. So their patience, we are so thankful for. And they understand that ideally we wouldn't be in this situation either. Let me see. We've talked a little bit about the beaver, the issues there, what we need to figure out, and that ideally we'd like to have it here with us. And no one thought COVID was going to go this long. And when COVID was thinking about maybe we could go and do things, then cancer comes, and it just seems that things have been delayed. maintenance has to be done. It needs to be taken care of, and it needs to be brought home. And we will do that
when we can.
when we can. What else? We're coming to. Oh yeah. We want to get back to doing reviews. So as soon as I can stand long enough, we'll get to a lot and we'll get filming reviews again, because it's killing me. All these reviews are coming out and I'm watching them and I'm seeing things, and lots are getting filled up now, and I need to get out there and check them out, right? There's new things coming out all the time and I want to see them.
Mhm.
So as soon as I can be back up on my feet and handle standing long enough to go through a review, we will do that and get those back out to you. General RV life as a plan. What's happening to Does Size Matter? We don't know. We're going to continue doing reviews. We're going to continue trying to help folks find the right RV for them, and do it in a completely unbiased way where we're not selling you a product from anybody's lot. We just want you to find what's right for you and your habits and your wants, needs, and priorities. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to work on that.
We're probably going to be in an RV occasionally when it is necessary for this summer.
We're going to do as much as we can. I mean,
yeah.
I'd like to be in there all the time, but we're also here at the lake, and we're hoping that we can be here in enough time to really enjoy the lake this summer and relax and get through this and just do what we got to do. Come fall, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what we're doing? But stick with us because we'll keep you up to date somehow. Hopefully you're on our email list. I'm going to get back to sending out emails and keeping people up to date that way as well. So if you're not, click on, I'll put a link in the description and you can get on our email list, and then I will send you emails and let you know what we're doing and anything cool that I find, because I'm always online looking up what's new or different or those kinds of things. So that's kind of our plan moving forward. It's been a lot. It's still a lot. It really has been. Denise, thank you so much.
Thanks.
For the coffee fund. Yeah. So I'm having decaf these days because apparently the caffeine's bad for the old hot flashes. Yeah. So I think those are the main things. If any of you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I will, like I said, we have been filming. I just haven't gotten it out there, and I'm going to work on that. Mostly, we just need to be saying thank you.
For sure.
We've got friends here who bring us food and clean our house.
Yeah, we got back yesterday, 2 days ago. Our house was like spotless. It's super nice lady that's always been nice to us.
Very
kind and cleaned it.
Just people are just so kind. They're our shoulder. They're good listeners. We just have wonderful people in our lives, and those are the people close to us. And then there's all of you way out there that we feel so close to. And I do enjoy hearing and reading from you.
She does read every comment and comments on every comment. And it, like I said, this morning, I didn't even know what she's looking at, but I can tell when she's looking at comments because she just lights up, and it makes a difference for her.
It does. It just fills me up.
Yep.
So keep them coming. I love that. People have asked how they can help. Your comments do it the most. We've put some links in the description below if that suits you too. We are we're not going to pretend we're not struggling through this, because we are, but we are staying on our feet and we are moving forward. Yep. Thank you, Holly. We're moving forward.
And we'll get there.
We will. And it's not going to be the wham bam, thank you, ma'am, fix up that we had intended back in December. But we'll get there, and we will get Courtney there.
Yep.
And
no one gets left behind.
No. And we got great people.
Yeah.
We're not doing this by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just so thankful to all of you out there for sticking with us and being our friends and being supportive and checking in on us. Because I know I feel really bad about that I feel like I left you hanging. And I didn't mean to. I just didn't have what it took to be there and be as present as I hoped that I would be. Again, I was probably just a little bit too optimistic, thinking, yeah, I'll get chemo on Monday, I'll go grocery shopping and cook on Tuesday, clean the house on Wednesday, build videos on Thursday.
Yeah, there's just the one day at chemo that you're really going to be held up. That's it. So
I was being naive, and I know that, and I'm sorry, but I also know you guys get that, and you understand, and yeah, we will get through this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we just wanted to say thanks to everyone for all of your support, for your generous donations and help and thoughts and
encouragement,
all of that. Oh, I didn't tell you about Denise 2.0, the wig.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just throw that in. I got a real hair wig that looks exactly like mine, and it's great, but I thought I was going to go back to work and I was going to need this wig and I was going to wear it all the time. And the truth of the matter is I didn't get to go back to work. And this is easy. I'm quick in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
There's no blow drying. I'm not that great with the straightener or the curling iron anyways.
There's no hair in your face. There's no.
Yeah, I don't have windy. Yeah. We'll go back to reviews and people will be like, wow, she's not distracted by all that hair in her face. Yeah. So it's okay. I know one of you had commented that feeling the hair blow in the breeze is going to be a unique feeling to me, and it probably will. So yeah, I'm going to get hair back. What's it going to look like? Maybe we should take a poll on that. I keep telling people it's going to be blonde.
I don't think it's going to be brunette. Yeah, very light colored blonde.
Maybe gray.
Well, this looks like a bit of a halo sometimes when the sun shines on it right now.
I think I look like my dad. But anyways, we're gonna get through that too. And you know, I saw a lady, just quick story. Prior to starting chemo, prior to losing my hair, I knew it was going to be difficult for me. And one day we were sitting at the lab waiting for blood work, and I saw a lady across the room, and she was bald. And I said to Cray, like, she looks great. Like, why do I have to figure out a wig or a head covering or a this or a that or a whatever? Why can't I just be bald? And I thought, it's more about what's in my heart and in my head about whether I can be bald or not. I just have to own it. And that's what I've decided to do. Mm-hmm. I still have my wig and I can wear it whenever I want. And if we were going out to dinner or something, I probably would. But this is good.
Yeah, it is.
It is fine. It's just fine. And yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to come back. But we'll keep you tuned in on that. So anyways, thanks for everyone stopping in and dropping a comment and sharing with us and just being our friends.
Yeah, it means a lot. It does.
Wow. We had no idea how many wonderful friends we had out there. And you guys, those of you near and far, we do hope to see you someday. I know some of you are in Canada, coming to Canada. Maybe over to BC, who knows?
Let us know.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these days, we're going to be back out there on the road, and we will let you know where we're at. And if we're ever crossing paths, please let us know so that we can meet up and say hey, because that would be really fun. So, I'm going to leave it at that. And of course, if you have questions, please shoot them our way. And we're going to get back to making plans and taking care of Courtney and doing
Get
my
it through
things.
the rest of this.
And I will get a video out to you. But thank you. It's been
Yes.
really, 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 really wonderful to have you along. And I just don't know what more we could say.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for being with us tonight and always.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're signing off. Bye from Corey and Denise. Does always matter.
Bye, guys.